Yo guys, welcome to Why Football, and today I'm doing the anticipated reacting to my Premier League predictions because I did a video way back in the day when the season started predicting where I think each of the teams will finish, and now I'm going to be reacting to where I thought they'd come and actually where they ended up falling, starting with the stinkers, the relegation teams. I put West Brom, Fulham and Aston Villa to be relegated. Starting with West Brom, they actually finished 19th. So they finished one above where I put, but they still stunk, to be honest. They sacked their manager halfway through, Bilic, to sign Big Sam, who's meant to be the saviour for these teams, and he just didn't help them at all. I mean, I watched a couple of their games because they had Maitland-Niles. They beat Chelsea towards the end, which was, I don't know how they did that. They put 5 past them. But against us, they stunk. Big Sam just sat there, he didn't really do anything. And yeah, they're going down. They'll probably come back up because they're a bit of a yo-yo club. But it is what it is. They're going down for now. Championship football for them next season. And then I put Fulham to finish 19th. They actually finished one place higher as well in 18th. I have a bit more sympathy for them though because I kind of like their tactics. Scott Parker's a young manager. I like where he's going. He wasn't quite ready yet. I mean, they came into the Prem through the playoffs. Brentford, who are now in the Prem, they beat to come here. So they've gone down. But if he sticks to his style, I have faith in him. I feel like they'll come back up very soon. And I feel like they'll have a better go next time. They had that big flipping Mitrovic up front. But, I mean, he's a bit of a bully, but he didn't really do much for them. I thought he'd have a bigger impact like Pookie did for Norwich. But they're down as well. It is what it is. Now, 18th. Okay, I'm not going to lie. This is a stinker for me. I put Aston Villa to finish 18th. Now, I know they finished 11th, so that was really, really bad on my part. But in my defence, these brothers only survived because of goal line tech malfunction the season before last. I mean, in the first game back from COVID, they played Sheffield United, and they only survived because the goal line tech just bugged out. Like, the ball was over the line for Sheffield United, and they just didn't give it. I don't know why. Vieira didn't have a look. I don't know why neither. But they survived because of that. So I thought, oh, come on. They literally survived by like the skin of their teeth. What are they going to do this season? And to be fair to them, to be fair to Dean Smith, they turned it around. Martinez, big signing for them from us. Obviously, we sell the good ones. He did bits for them. Goalkeeper of the season, maybe. Obviously, Jack Grealish did his thing. And yeah, they managed to finish 11th. They did very well. Not quite Europe. They were pushing it towards the end, but they fell off after Grealish got injured. So it's a good season, though. Good season for them. So that was relegated 3 I put. 2 of them ended up getting relegated. So pretty decent predictions, I guess. And then I put Brighton to finish 17th, and they finished one place higher as well in 16th. And Brighton, they're just that team in it. They just sit there. They're not going to finish in Europe. They're not going to finish in the top table, really. They're just going to maybe not get relegated and just be in that like 17th to 15th area. They play, I mean, there's this stat, and I don't know what you lot think about XG. I just don't really care about it, to be honest. But they've got one of the highest XGs, to be fair. So if they had a better striker, other than Ty's favourite, Malpe, they might actually scored some goals. But it is what it is. I remember they got robbed at the start of the season against Man United when they scored after the full-time whistle had been blown. Don't know how that was possible. But yeah, Brighton, they survived, I guess. That was the objective. They go again next season. And then 16th, I put Sheffield United. Now, this was the surprise of the season. I knew they were going to be bad. Well, when I say bad, I knew they weren't going to be as good as they were in their first season. But I didn't think they were going to be that bad that they finished last. Just nothing worked. Chris Wilder, I liked him as a manager. I still do. They got rid of him. I think, to be fair, it's harsh, but they were bottom of the table. They were looking really bad. They were pushing for Derby's record in terms of that bad. And not much to say. They've got some decent players, I guess. Sanderberg is a decent player. We're looking at him, Arsenal. I don't really want him personally. I'd prefer to get someone like Buendia from Norwich. But, I mean, they're down. They'll come back up, I guess, soon. They've had the experience of Premier League football now, so it is what it is. They go down. Now, okay, so this was another stinker for myself. I put West Ham to finish 15th, and they actually finished 6th. So 9 places off. I got this. But, I mean, it's every season with West Ham, innit? It's like they sign these players and everyone thinks they're going to do well and then they just stink. So I just thought the same. I did not think they were going to do well. But obviously they got that B-Tech, well, I'm not going to say B-Tech Fellaini because he's actually decent. That Suchek guy, just elbowing man left, right, centre, just the rock in the midfield. They got his buddy Kufau, that's playing right back. He's doing bits as well. Obviously Lingard, this brother's had a revival out of nowhere. I don't know where he came from. He was literally sitting warm in the bench at Man United, not getting no game time. Big as casual, wasn't even playing Carabao Cups. Now he's doing up stuff at West Ham. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my eyes when we played them. He scored a banger from outside the box. I'm like, what's this? The brother's turned into Maradona, the way he's dribbling past man. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, West Ham, I don't know what happened to them. They just morphed into a wicked football team. So they're in Europe next season. They're not even like the Conference League. They're in the Europa League. Like they're going to be travelling. So you know what? I can't hate it. I like West Ham. Like they're probably my second favourite like London team in the Premier League. And then it'll be Crystal Palace and then obviously Chelsea and Spurs I don't really care about. But yeah, they did their thing, to be fair to them. They finished above Arsenal. I can't hate. They did what they needed to do. And then above them, I put Crystal Palace, the other London club. And I got that bang on, 14th. I put him, they finished 14th. A-star football knowledge. And then, so that was Roy Hodgson's final season. I mean, he did what he needed to do, and it's Roy Hodgson. He's just that manager. He's got that nous about him. He knows they're not going to get relegated. They're not a Europa League club. They're not a Conference League club. They're not a top table club. They're just doing their thing, riding along. They've got Zaha still. I mean, he's just kind of like, he's wasting his career there, let's be honest. I would have loved him to come to Arsenal. That ship has probably sailed now. But I just feel like he's still too good for Crystal Palace, man. They've got that Liverpool reject Benteke, bounced from Aston Villa to Liverpool back to Crystal Palace. He's doing all right, but he's a casual still. But yeah, Crystal Palace 14th. I pretty did bang on, so I can't complain. Everyone saw it coming. It's that middle team, right? And now moving on to Leeds 13th, who did well. They finished 9th actually. So I knew they were going to have something about them. I like Bielsa Ball. I don't like the club. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like Leeds at all. But I like Bielsa. He's a good manager. He plays a very attacking, like easy on the eye football. And they did well, 9th. One place below Arsenal. In the first season, it's not bad at all. I mean, what can you say? They're a great team to watch, to be fair. I mean, the games we played against them was a bit dead. That's not like... I mean, the home game was good. I think that was 4-2. Because we were like 4-0 up. But the away game was awful. It was like the first 0-0 they've had all season when Pepe decided to headbutt Alioski. So, yeah. But they're a good team. They've had some decent games. The first game against Liverpool was big. And they'll go again next year. I have a feeling they'll do either slightly worse or the same next year. I don't think they'll get better. I just feel like the way he plays, they burn out easily. But I guess they need to make some good signings again. They need to back him. And Bielsa is a good manager. He's got the experience. And he's still, like, he can't properly speak in the interviews, right? So I feel like his English will get better. And as it gets better, they will get better as well. So, I mean, Leeds, they've done their thing, to be fair. 9th, I don't think anyone really put them that high. I thought I was generous with 13th, to be fair. But yeah, they did their thing. And then Southampton I put in 12th. They finished 3 places lower in 15th. So not too far off for Southampton. Middle of the pack / lower table type thing. They're that team that... Obviously, they had all the players that have gone to Liverpool now. But they had that team, like with the Mane, Van Dijks, where they were pushing that Europa League spot, and they haven't got that same academy through still. I feel like other teams taking over. It used to be the Southampton academy that was like the main crop, other than like the Big Six. They would have like the players that the team from Big Six would snipe those players. Obviously, some of them didn't work out, like the Lallanas, the Kleins, even like Chambers in a way. But then obviously you have the good ones like the Manes, and obviously he's not from the academy, but you know what I mean, like their type of players. So they're falling off a bit. 15th. I mean, they signed Walcott, to be fair. He scored against us, obviously, but they're just drifting, Southampton, man. They lost to United. I think it was like 9-0, so they're just that team, right? They're just middle of the pack, casuals, nothing to really say, nothing bad, nothing good. Just steady Eddie. Now moving on to Newcastle 11th. Now, I got a lot of hate for putting Newcastle high. Everyone was saying they were going to get relegated 17th. They finished 12th, so I was one place off. And I remember I got a lot of hate when this video came out saying Newcastle, I'm putting them too high. But I saw something in them. Alan St. Maximin, that's my player. I rate that guy a lot. I think he's an outstanding footballer. Okay, he was alright. He didn't do amazing this season, but I see something in him. A lot. Same with Pepe, he's that flair player. And obviously they brought in Joe Willock and he transformed them. 7 goals in a row in 7 consecutive games. Unbelievable. and just pushed them up and up. And their manager Steve Bruce, he was under the cosh a lot. To be fair to him, and he's pulled it around. He's a Newcastle boy. The fans weren't really a fan of him because they had Benitez. I mean, what a manager at Newcastle. He was managing in the Championship at times, man. It's a joke. He was way better than that. And obviously, whoever took over for Benitez, unless it was like a world-class manager, he's going to get hate. And he's done well to him, Steve Bruce. I don't hate the man. I think he's a decent manager, to be fair. And yeah, he's kept them afloat, 12th. Decent finish. And then I put Everton in 10th, and they did finish 10th. Now, a lot of people were putting Everton to finish top 6 because they had an amazing summer. But this is the same old story of Everton. They always have a decent summer, and then it just somehow crumbles. They just don't live up to expectations. At the start of the season, everyone was finished they're going to win the league. They had James Rodriguez firing all cylinders, Doucouré, Allen, everything was coming up trumps. And then comes the end of the season, and they've just fallen off. They're not even relevant anymore. I don't think I've heard anything about Everton this whole season. Like, towards the end of it, what's happened? The most relevant thing is that Pickford injured Van Dijk. That's it. I don't hear anything about them anymore. They're just 10th, mid-table. I put them to finish there. And that's what happened. Leeds finished above them. We finished above them in our stinker season. So, I mean, it is what it is. A lot of teams that were like really relevant at the start of the season. Spurs will be another one that were actually pushing to win the title in some way. Just fall off. It's the run of games and just like the injuries pile up. Okay, this is a stinker from me. I put Burnley to finish 9th and they finished 17th. That was bad. But I thought Burnley were just that club in it with Sean Dyche. They just played the Brexit football, lump it up, Stoke City regens. I just thought they were going to like do something, stay in, be that like giant killers. And I mean, they survived, to be fair to them, but they, despite literally, I mean, there was a gap between the relegation and the teams above them, but I thought they wouldn't do much better, to be fair. Like, in hindsight, I don't know why I put them 9th, actually, now I think about it, because, yeah, I should have put them like 14th, 15th. I mean, I put them 9th and they just didn't live up to it at all. That was a bit of a rogue prediction, to be fair. Like, that was one of them, like the Newcastle one, where you just put it there hoping you got some kind of gut feeling and just backfired badly. Because, yeah, they're just not good. They've got those two pair from Barnes and Woods, man. Oh, my days. The rugby players up front, just bully man left, right, centre with the elbows and everything. I want them to go down. Obviously, I don't like their style of football. I don't mind their manager, Sean Dyche. He does what he can with the players he's got. He ain't exactly got Real Madrid's squad or anything, so he does what he needs to do. But I hope they get relegated, to be fair, next season. But they survived just about, and they messed up my predictions. 8th, I put Wolves, and they actually finished in 13th. So kind of bad prediction. Wolves did well last season. They're that Robin Hood team, right? It's like they seem to do really well against the good teams and then stink against the bad teams. Nuno's gone, which I feel like he's a good manager, actually. He's linked with the Spurs job. I mean, I feel like he's a good manager. I don't really personally like his style of play. I think he's a bit victim football in the way that his first call of action is to stop the opposition rather than imposing his attacking play on the opposition, right? Which I guess you have to do when you've got Wolves squad. It's not like he's got Man City squad where he can go, I want to attack you. His first thing is let's defend them and then we will attack based on what they give us rather than we will take what we want. So, I mean, he's a right manager. They lost Jimenez, obviously. That was through us, a head injury. I don't know if he'll ever be the same player again because that seemed really bad. He has to wear like a skull, which I don't know if that will affect his headers or not, but I mean, it is what it is. That's life, innit? That's football. And he's down bad, terrible, Jimenez. I don't even know if he's going to touch the pitch properly. They've got some good young players. They got that Moutinho, who's aging, but he's a bit of a solid head. Connor Cody. Like, they've got decent players, but they're just like, they remind me of like an upgraded Southampton in a way. Like, you can see good players there. It's just, they're not turning over anything. They're not going to make Europe, I don't think, next season. I feel like Nuno punched above his weight a lot. But, hey, good luck to them. I don't mind them as a football club. 7th, I put Leicester. They finished 5th. They had a really, really good season, Leicester. Really, really good. They tailed off towards the end. Brendan Rodgers kind of bottled it-ish, not really. He's got a bit of, like, that stigma with him now. Because he did it last season with Leicester as well. Or the season before the season that just finished. And also with Liverpool in 14 when he had Suarez, Gerrard and them, man. And, look, they won the FA Cup, I guess. It's a trophy. They had Maddison got injured. I guess that kind of affected them. But they've got Tielemans. They got Ndidi. Obviously, Vardy's still firing. I don't know how much longer for. This brother just defies age. I thought he would have fallen off by now. He's old. But he's making it happen. And look, they finished 5th. It's Europa League football. It's a step up from the season before. Look, it is what it is with Leicester. They moved. They're going to take Europa League football. It's probably, I don't think they're right for the Champions League just yet. Not just yet. Give it another couple of seasons and maybe. But they take it and they move on. That's what it is in football. You take what you get. You obviously hope for the best, but you take what you get and move on. You take the positives from it. In 6th, I put Spurs. They finished 1 below in 7th. And they've got the Conference League, which I'm happy about. A lot of Arsenal fans were like, oh, we finished below Spurs. It's awful. No, I don't mind finishing below. They got the Conference League. They're going to all these Wi-Fi password countries. They're playing these dead teams. It's calm. They do that, man. You can do that. I don't mind no European football. You play those teams. So they're going to be playing that next season. Underachieved massively, Spurs. Don't get it twisted. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I've got a bit of bias. But taking my bias cap off, they're underachieved massively. They've got a decent squad. Harry Kane, what a player. He won the Golden Boot and the Assist King in one season. I think Thierry Henry's only really done that before. What a player. He wants to leave. He should leave. Let's be honest, he's too good for that club. Sonaldo, decent player. Very, very good player. Not even decent player. World-class player. And then Gareth Bale obviously didn't really do anything amazing. He performed better towards the end of the season. I thought it was going to be a big signing, but obviously he's a bit more interested in his golf game, to be fair. Let him do his thing in it. He can go play with Tiger Woods and them, man. I don't really watch golf, but I just know he's a golfer. Do that. They're going to obviously have to get a new manager. They sacked Jose Mourinho. And was it the right thing to do? Yes. Should they have applied in the first place? No. They shouldn't have sacked Pochettino, in my opinion. And I still hold that opinion. They want it back, apparently, which shows you effed up that situation, basically. I feel like that Pochettino took that team to a Champions League final literally the season before, or season and a half before, and now they're just going to get him out because of like a couple locker room issues. Yet that man was an amazing manager for them, and they just did him very dirty with that, and they get what they deserve. Obviously, I don't want Tottenham to succeed because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I saw them as doing something. I put 6 because of the teams I put above them, but I could see them finishing that top 4, and they finished 7th. They underachieved, much like us. And much like a few other teams on that list as well. But yeah, it is what it is for Spurs. They go again next season. Maybe Kane will go, maybe not. And we'll see what they can do. We'll see. In 5th, I put Man United, and they finished 2nd now. Obviously, people are going to say, oh, you're biased, you hate Man United. Yeah, I do hate Man United, but I'm not biased. I saw it the way that United, and I still actually do hold this no matter what you say, I don't think they're a good football team. I'm sorry. These men are jammy. They're the definition of a jammy football team. They fluke every single win. Okay, I've watched maybe like 10 Man United games this season, yeah? Only one of those games did I actually think they played well. And that was Man City. I didn't watch the Spurs game. Apparently they played well in the second half of that. But this was Man City away, I think, where they played well. They actually won that game. But the rest of the games, they fluke it differently, man. It's like they go 1-0 down and they get a jammy penalty. Bruno, falls over himself and the ref blows for a pen. VAR gets involved. They fluke it differently every single time. I don't believe it. And they somehow, some way, managed to finish 2nd. Oh God, I don't know how it happened. I don't know. If you brought an alien down from the UFO to watch Man United and tell me where you think that team will finish, they would say maybe 6th or 7th. They have decent players, don't get me wrong, but I don't think any, apart from Bruno, I don't think any of their players are really that amazing. Rashford obviously gets gassed because of what he does. I rate everything he does, the school meals and stuff. I rate it, don't get me wrong. But on the football pitch, I think he's an overrated footballer. Greenwood, don't get me wrong, decent young prospect, but he's not like the Foden Sakas. They've got Cavani. He did bits, to be fair to him. He did bits. He did well. But he's an old man. You shouldn't be able to carry this team. You're old. You got rejected by PSG. You're old, man. You should be playing every other 4 games or 3 games, like a super sub type thing. Fred, McTominay, these brothers are not good. They're not Man United players. Yet they're performing somehow, some way. I don't know why. Even their manager, I don't rate Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't rate him, but he's making something happen there. It defies all physics, maths. You put equations together for them, it don't make sense. They're anomalies. I don't know how they finished 2nd, but they've done it, to be fair to them. Next season, I'm going to put them low as well. I'm going to put them maybe 4th, 5th. I'm be real, because I don't see him finishing second again at all. There's no way. So once in a minute, put my PC back on because it froze out. And then fourth, I put Arsenal, my team. Every season, man. I'm always optimistic with my club. Next season, no chance, man. I'm putting us 6th, maybe 5th. This club, man, they cock block my weekend every single time there's a match day, man. I'm having a good weekend, had fun, and in the Arsenal game, boof, we lose 1-0, 2-1 to some dead teams, man. Literally, every time. I don't believe with this football club. We're so hot and cold FC, man. Our players, like Ceballos looked like a world-class player towards the end of last season. FA Cup run. And now we can't even pass the ball 2 yards. Hector Bellerin, okay, I don't rate this geezer, but take a throw-in properly, my man. You're a professional footballer. You should not be messing up throw-ins. That is the basics of football. The fundamentals of football is being able to take a throw-in. It's literally that. It's not rocket science. Aubameyang, what happened to him? Like, what happened to Aubameyang? The brother just morphed into an awful footballer overnight. It's like as soon as he signed his contract, it's vacation for him. It's holiday time. I ain't going to play football anymore. I'm going to just relax, coast through the season. What's that all about, man? We need you. We need to get these Champions League spots. And you're just messing about, just literally drifting through the season. Lacazette became our best striker. Don't get me wrong, I rate Lacazette. I think he's a good finisher, but he should not be your number 1 striker if you're going for a Champions League place. Not anymore. The brother's past 30 now. He had a decent season. Pepe had a decent season. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say I don't rate the man, but I don't think he's the answer as a right winger for us. I feel like we need to play Saka there and Martinelli left winger. I think he's more of a squad player, but he had a decent season. I'd like to see what he does. Smith Rowe, it took a 19/20-year-old to come in to make something happen at this football club. 19, 20. And it only happened because all the other men were injured. He came in against Chelsea, a game where we had no hope. No hope in that Chelsea game. I've watched every Arsenal game this season. And then that Chelsea game was lowest. Like, just before that, I was thinking, I don't even really want to watch this, man. Because I had a good week and I was like, they're going to ruin it, innit? I watched it, we win 3-1. I couldn't believe my eyes. We were a different football club. We were playing like prime Liverpool last season. Knocked it around well, made stuff happen, made chances, goals. And then we had that good run. We beat West Brom 4-0. And then, boof, down again. It always happens. And then we pick it up. And then Villarreal, boof, down again. Every time in this football club. And then when it doesn't matter, we win 4 games in a row to end the season. Hot and cold FC, you can't predict us. We need a change of ownership, first and foremost. Eck in, Kroenke out. Do we need to change a manager? I wouldn't be against Arteta leaving at all. I would not be against it. You cannot defend the man. As a man, I'm ambitious for my club. I'm ambitious for myself. I don't want us finishing 8th under any circumstances. We need to have some kind of principles in football. So I'm kind of, because otherwise anything can happen. You need a principle to say something like, no matter what happens in the season, if we finish lower than this place, they have to go. Like, no excuses. And for me, that's maybe 7th at Arsenal. No matter what happens in that season, you do not finish lower than 7th. You could have the whole squad injured, you don't finish lower than 7th. Like Liverpool, they had their whole backline injured, basically. Obviously, they got a better squad than Arsenal, don't get me wrong. But even they finished 3rd. With everyone injured out. Van Dijk injured, Joe Gomez injured. They were playing 2 19-year-olds at centre-back. 19-year-olds, man. I didn't even know who they were until this season. So, it's not good enough, to be honest. Bounced out of the Europa League to Unai Emery. Obviously, he beat United as well, but just not good enough for my club. I'm going to do a roundup video on Arsenal. Just Arsenal, because obviously that's my team. That's probably what most of the viewers care about. That's their club as well. Because I have a lot of opinions going on, as a lot of people do with this football club. Okay, moving on, I put Chelsea in 3rd. They finished 4th. So, not too bad prediction. I mean, I thought they were going to be the best of like the Man City, Liverpool, their tier, right? They're like the creme de la creme. And then I thought Chelsea were going to be knocking at it. They're a good football team, Chelsea. They just won the Champions League yesterday from when I'm recording this. And Tuchel, what a manager. I really, really rate this manager a lot. When he left PSG, I was like, right, what does he do then? Chelsea moved like a big club. They got rid of Lampard and they brought him in instantly. Instantly. Lampard came top 4 with that dead team last season without transfers. They backed him in the summer, didn't work. Tuchel in. Moved like a big club. Us, Arteta, dead. If we brought Tuchel in, we would have at least got to Europa League final. At least. And we'd be at least maybe 5th or 6th. I promise you that. I promise you that we would have been at least 5th or 6th and Europa League final at least with Tuchel. He brought them in FA Cup final. Okay, they didn't really win. They got a bit unlucky with the VAR thing, but it happens. But they won the Champions League final. The premier competition in European football, and they won it. It's unbelievable stuff. They deserve to win as well. They outplayed Man City throughout the whole game. Werner, if he was actually a good footballer, they would have won that game maybe 4-3-0 because his brother missed chances in front of the goal. Like, my nan would have scored some of these. I'm not being funny, bro. Like, kick the ball. Like, what are you doing tapping it for, man? Kick the football. And just joking. But yeah, they finished 4th Champions League. It is what it is. 3rd, 4th, doesn't really matter. Like, you get Champions League, you don't win. 2nd's maybe like, at least you're pushing for it. They move next season, they'll be a title contender next season, I promise you that. Especially if they have a big sum, which I expect with that Abramovich guy. Like, he spends like there's no tomorrow. He spends. 2nd, I put Liverpool, they finished 3rd. Obviously, 3rd with the season they had, like, victory, W there. I didn't anticipate they'd get... I think they'd get injuries because they were very, very fortunate when they won the league. Very fortunate that they didn't get any big injuries. Obviously, Van Dijk got injured. It is what it is. He was out for the whole season. It's unlucky. He held that team together. Mane wasn't really himself. I still rate the man. I think he's an outstanding footballer. I think he's better than Salah, in fact. I know I'll probably get hate for that, but it's my opinion. I think he's better than Salah. Salah obviously did his thing for the most part. But it is what it is, man. Thiago didn't really hit the ground running like I thought. I do rate Thiago. I don't know whether it's the Prem thing or adjustment. We'll see. But look, their goal was to get Champions League. They made the best out of a bad situation. So they got it done, to be fair to them. They'll probably be pushing next season as well, bar injuries. Yeah, they finished 3rd. They did their thing. And then finally, I put Man City to finish 1st, and they finished 1st. No surprise there. I mean, if you didn't put Man City to finish 1st, like, what are you doing, man? Like, it's obvious. In the season where there wasn't really much pre-season training, it was going to be down to who had the best squad, and Man City have the best squad. Like, there's no debate about it. Their B team will challenge for the title. Like, they have backups of world-class players. And Pep Guardiola, has he underachieved? In my opinion, yes. Do I think he's a world-class manager? Yeah. Do I think he's a GOAT manager? Not at all. At this moment, I'd rather have Tuchel than Pep Guardiola. Why? Because I think this man is a glorified money spender. He needs money and good players to play well. Obviously, every manager needs good players to play well, but the good coaches will coach their teams. Like, look at Klopp. I think Klopp's better manager than Guardiola because Klopp coached people like Robertson. Robertson wasn't an £80 million right back, left back. He coached him. Trent, he coached him. Players like this, players like he signed him. Van Dijk wasn't a complete defender, but he coached him. He's an outstanding defender now. Look at the players. Wijnaldum came from a relegated Newcastle team, coached him. Salah stunk at Chelsea, coached him. He's a great coach. Guardiola doesn't like a player, calm, I'll just buy another one for 80 million. Like, you have your chance. He plays a very easy on the eye system, which inflates his status and stats a bit. But he's underachieved in my opinion. Obviously, he won the Carling Cup, the Premier League, or the Carabao Cup, whatever it is, the same thing. Lost in the semi-final to Chelsea in the FA Cup and lost in the final of the Champions League to Chelsea as well. But it is what it is. With Man City, they did win the league. I expect them to win the league. They'll probably win the league again next season because of the money they've got. Do I think Guardiola should be sacked? No. Do I think he will be sacked? No. Do I think he's the GOAT managers people are saying because he won a Carling Cup in the Premier League? No. But it is what it is with them. And then obviously how I did the scoring. If you've watched Spencer FC, you'll know that he did it so you get 0 points if you're on the spot, and then you get points based off how far you were, right? So for example, I put Liverpool to finish 2nd, they finished 3rd, so that's 1 point, and you want the least possible points that's the best, right? So you want the least, it's pointless, you want the least amount. And I got 56, which when I saw Spencer's video, he got 56 as well, and that was one of the best in his leaderboard, so I did pretty well. I did really good. Obviously, I would have preferred about the 50, West Ham, Burnley, they're the teams that really did me dirty. And then Aston Villa as well, them three, predicted them badly, but apart from Burnley, that was just a bad on my part. Those two, West Ham and Aston Villa, had amazing seasons no one really saw coming, let's be honest. But yeah, that's going to cap it off. That's my prediction. Well, that's my reaction, to my predictions. What do you guys think? How do you lot do? Do you want to see any other videos soon? I'm going to get one with Arsenal, like a reaction to the whole season out soon. But yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.